What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Challenger TCG video. Today we have some breaking news regarding the Riftbound regionals. We have our first regional announcement. Tickets are already up right now. Don't know how long they're going to be up. Don't know if they'll already be sold out by the time this video goes live. But if you're seeing it and they're still around, you should go get them because they're probably going to go really quick.
Yeah, so we've got the first round here. There's no cap specified, which I thought was really interesting. They don't say anywhere, but we'll kind of get into that as we go along. But I did find that was interesting. This kind of just dropped out of nowhere. No mention of cap or how many people can sign up. But let's get right into it.
Okay, so it says, "Hey Riftbounders, hot off the press with our first English regional qualifier plus some juicy new details about the world of Riftbound organized play." So yeah, first off, we've got the Houston Regional happening Friday, December 5th through Sunday, December 7th. We're arriving with lots of things to do, but the star of the show is the regional qualifier. What is the regional qualifier, you may ask? Regional qualifiers are open tournaments where anyone with a deck and a dream can come compete for glory and prizes, plus a chance to qualify for the regional championship. These events will feature cash prizing and special prizes awarded to the top performer with each specific champion legend. The event is going to be held in the George R. Brown Convention Center in Houston, Texas. Ticket pricing, they did have different pricing tiers for tickets. Alex and I grabbed a premium one. We were fortunate enough to get in there quick. But there is competitor badges as well as spectator badges if you just want to go like play side events or go see things. They mentioned competitor badge will get you entry into the main qualifier event with 2 vouchers for side events. Premium competitor badge gets you 4 side event vouchers, a booster box, extra promo swag. You'll also receive a 1 in 300 commemorative Riftbound card back sheet. Spectator badge gets you access to the event hall where you can watch the action, plus you get a voucher for 1 side event.
So let's talk about that real quick. So something interesting with the premium badges, they're giving you a lot of value. So as this video goes live, I believe boxes are going around $300 on TCG Player right now. We don't know if that price will hold after release, but if this event happened today, you'd already instantly be getting your money on this competitor badge. So I think that's the best bang for your buck if you can afford it. You also get a 1 of 300 commemorative framed card back sheet, which that'll probably be worth a ton of money. They said that's limited to 300 too, so it does give us some sense of what the cap is. We know there's 300 at least of these. We just don't know how many competitor badges go along with it. So that's really interesting. And even at MSRP, that box is $120 as it mentioned. So I think that's the best bang for your buck. But if you don't want to pay 300, you're worried these box value might drop off, or you just don't care about the frame sheet, the competitor badge is great because you still get 2 side events with that. We don't know if those are transferable too. So if you don't even want to play the side events, you could just give them to a buddy. You could give them to like if you go with your spouse or significant other, you could give it to them. You could give it to your kids. You could even sell them probably. So that's kind of cool too there. And you get 4 with the premium. So me personally, we both got premiums. I mean, I think that's the best deal. And if it's not sold out at the time this video airs, I recommend you go do the same. But it's cool that they have spectators too. They're offering, so if you don't want to, if you're just there with like a friend or something, you just want to check the game out, you can play a side event and just kind of hang out.
Yeah, it's giving more of like a Magic Con vibe than just like a regular regional tournament only. You know, that there will be other things for people to do. Even if you don't make it into the main event, it still might be cool to go check out, see the prize wall, get more product. It does look like the premium competitors also will get like a playmat.
So
Houston
let's
competitive
see.
events. So they are talking about in the main event on Saturday, we will be starting by hosting 9 rounds of Swiss play. So as Alex mentioned earlier, we have not seen a player cap, but they do state here that there will be 9 rounds, which leads us to believe that there probably is.
So for those of you who don't know tournament round structures, typically if you're not playing additional rounds, there's a set number of rounds based on the number of people. So for example, 32 to 64 or 33 to 64 is typically 6 rounds. 65 to 128 is 7 rounds. 129 to 256 is 8 rounds, and then 257 to 512 is 9 rounds. So the first thing that I think in my mind is, okay, this would be capped at 512. because of the 9 rounds, unless they're just okay with playing less rounds because they have such a big top cut, which is top 64, which is that's pretty big for an event. Like 64 is not what we typically see. Most games do a top 8 or top 16 cut for playoffs and then usually prize out a little lower. Magic does 8, Pokemon does 8, Yu-Gi-Oh just switched to 8 from 32. A lot of the other games, Lorcana does 32 or 64, I believe, depending on attendance. Star Wars does 8. So this is a very large top cut. This is not very typical of events. So maybe that's why they're doing this, is because they know, okay, our cap is going to be like 2,000, but we don't want to do more than 9 rounds because of time constraints. So we'll just expand the top cut effectively, which is almost more or less the same as adding extra rounds. So I think that's kind of interesting.
It does mention rounds will be played best of 3 with sideboards. So for those of you playing Bandai games right now and wishing that you weren't playing best of 1s, this game is offering best of 3s. So if you feel like you're not enjoying those RNG formats, maybe a switch is in order.
Right. And again, it's weird that the cap would be 512 in my mind, though, because that seems low for 1. 2, they're offering 300 for premium, so it seems weird that you would have more premiums than you would just regular entries, but it's hard to say. There may also just not be a like cap. Like they may have bought so much space that they're like, we have space for 4,000 participants. There's 0 chance we expect that many, so we're just not even going to mention it because it's not worth it.
Tuning in from home does look like there's going to be a stream involved with broadcast. We saw pretty cool stuff happening in the China regionals, and they brought a lot of production value to the streams for those events. So hopefully, we'll see some pretty cool streams coming. In case you're not able to make it and you still want to catch some competitive Riftbound, they will be streaming the event. And here we take a look at the regional qualifier prizing. For those of you who get to participate in the regional qualifier, some very exciting prizes await, and the higher you place, the better you get. If you're among the skilled and talented individuals who find themselves in the top echelon of players, you'll walk away qualified to attend a regional championship. These events are for the best of the best Riftbound players in the region and will be some of the fiercest competition. And here in the graphic here, it's showing a champion prize of Misfortune, the Buccaneer alt art plus a playmat. Then it says we get a foil card for top 8.
I think this is interesting, and I like this pricing. This is great cash, especially if you're a competitive player. You love cash. One thing I will note that I dislike about this is the cut is so big, yet they don't offer you anything except more cash at each increment. Promos cost them nothing to print, so I would like to see more exclusive promos at every increment, kind of like Lorcana does, or Bandai, where like, okay, 32 is one promo, then you've got 9th through 16th, that's another, top 8's the Misfortune, maybe 3rd and 4th is a playmat, and then 2nd and 1st, and so on and so forth. It feels a little lackluster when once you make top cut, there's only like one other thing you can get, which is top 8, and then obviously the champion prize seems a little too all in my opinion, especially for players who might be a little less on the competitive side and are just like, I'm happy to make top 64, but I'd like a cool promo for it because $250 doesn't exactly pay for your trip unless you're local. So would have been nice to see them assign some promos, especially knowing that those cost them next to nothing.
Yep, I do agree. We do also have the best of prizing that we mentioned earlier. So each deck running one of the 16 champion legends from Riftbound Origins or Proving Grounds with the highest win rate will receive a unique reward, a holographic metal champion legend card with 3D elements that bring that legend to life. And these bad boys are tournament legal.
So this is where I'm going to talk the most here, I think, and this is really interesting. So a couple other games do this. Star Wars Unlimited does this currently, the same exact thing. So this is where this is interesting, and this is kind of good for you, you EV hunters, and some of you guys who just want this cool art of your favorite champion. Where this is really interesting is some decks right now are very bad. They're not good. We talk about that in our tier list video earlier on, where decks like Garen, decks like Lux are just very bad. But where this works in your advantage, if you're either a fan of those champions or you're just an EV hunter, is if you're a great player and you take one of those decks, there's going to be very slim competition for you to make it probably as the top person with one of those decks. So if you're a huge Lux fan and that's like you're the champion you want, or you just think that's going to be worth a lot, it might actually be better EV for you to just play the Lux deck. You're great. Maybe you miss top, maybe you lose in top 64, whatever, but you're the only Lux deck. So now you get this Lux, you have the first one of it, and it's going for $4,000, for example. And that's more money than you could have made if you got anywhere but first, pretty much. Uh, and you had a much easier time doing that. So because you didn't have to fight all the way up through top cut. So instead of trying to like sweat it out and play the best deck or something, you kind of get to play with Lux, which is not as good, but your competition is going to be a lot slimmer because the majority of good players are just trying to win as opposed to value hunting, and there won't be as many in the tournament. So that is something to consider. And then if you're just a guy who's a collector or more casual, you might consider, okay, this is my champion, and it's not very good right now, but your competition for that is still going to be really slim. Even if it's not necessarily one of the worst ones like Garen or Lux, you might be able to get somewhere with some of these middle of the pack ones where you just kind of like, I get to top 64. Okay, I'm the only guy in here. There's a sea of Ys and Kaisas and Misfortune, but I got there with Volibear, and I'm the only one. So great. Now I'm the only guy. I get the Volibear by default. I'm the only guy. So that's kind of a cool aspect here, and I really like when companies do stuff like this, when you have multiple leaders and whoever does the best gets a special one. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, definitely a sweet prize. For competitive side events, it says the qualifier isn't the only game in town. Check out all the ways you can play Riftbound when you visit. They're going to have a pre-regional challenge on Friday, so it looks like another standard uh, best of three just tournament. Looks like a Swiss tournament, and you can earn a round one bye on Saturday, depending on how well you do. It doesn't really give us info on how you exactly will earn that round one bye, like what your record needs to be. But it also does mention mucho prize wall tickets. So might be worth checking out on Friday. And then we have Premium Sealed happening all 3 days. Conquest is happening Saturday and Sunday. This one I found a little interesting. You compete with 3 of your favorite standard decks in an alt format event. So probably going to be like you bring 3 decks and ban one. That's typically what Conquest is in a lot of other games and digital games. The thing is, if allocations are as bad as people are saying right now, might be hard to make 3 complete decks in
Yeah.
just like about a month or so. But hey, if you can actually, ball out and you got 3 full standard decks that you can bring with you, this might be the event for you. And lastly, we've got on-demand events happening all 3 days. So 2v2s, they've got standards, they've got free-for-all events. So there'll be lots of ways to earn prize wall tickets.
And then you've got your standard fixings of any event, dealer boost, trading area, free play area, a prize wall, which is really good. So if those of you don't know what a prize wall is, in a lot of games, you get tickets from side events, and then you go up to the prize wall, which will usually have different things like promos, sometimes exclusive items like giant cards, uncut sheets, swag like deck boxes, play mats, etc. So that's really cool that they have that right off the bat here, because not always do companies have the prize wall. Some games just don't have the prize wall right away, or they don't have one at all. So it's nice to see that.
Yeah, I'm interested to know if it didn't seem to mention it anywhere here, but if like the main event is going to give out tickets as well. I know that like in Lorcana, you get some tickets for their prize wall, like just for playing in the main event, depending on how you place. There didn't seem to be any mention of prize tickets outside of the side events in this main announcement, so not sure if they're going to be giving away any of that in the main event. And then in the rest of the announcement, they go over the judge program, Nexus Nights, and other like local level events and stuff. So if you want to check that out, we just wanted to cover the regional stuff because this is the competitive channel and we were really excited about this. But we'll drop the link below in the description if you want to read about what's going on with the local scene and get hyped for that too.
Till next time, we'll be posting more stuff as this gets updated more. Hopefully soon we'll have an idea of the cap and what that's going to be, and if we do, we'll edit that in the description as well to update any new information that we might receive.
All right, guys, thanks for watching Challenger TCG. We will see you guys at the regional.